Hello and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios here in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mimi Tondu. Our top stories: Tinubu orders watch on stable coins. Federal Inland Revenue Service, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission unites on tax compliance. Diphtheria kills 10 in Niger. In sports, Super Eagles struggle after draw with South Africa. And on the foreign scene, Trump rebukes Netanyahu over Qatar strikes. Now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu is calling for tighter monitoring of digital currencies and stable coins, warning that the rise of the alternative payments poses new challenges for Nigerian financial system. Speaking at the 18th Annual Banking and Finance Conference in Abuja, the president, represented by Finance Minister Wali Edun, said authorities must act early to regulate the fast-changing digital landscape. He noted that many Nigerians are now bypassing banks for stable coins and other digital assets. Tinubu has directed financial and capital market regulators to track the trend closely. Nigerian Securities and Exchange Commissions has already stepped up oversight following the 2025 Investments and Securities Act, which now classifies digital assets as securities. The president stressed that beyond growth in GDP, Nigeria must leverage digital tools, artificial intelligence, and open banking to drive industrialization and job creation. He reaffirmed his administration commitment to investing in youth education and digital skills, saying Nigeria is preparing the world's largest workforce by 2050. On the fiscal reforms, Tinubu highlighted new measures linking government accounts to the central bank to boost revenue mobilization, while stressing that true financial inclusion must create quality jobs for young Nigerians. Meanwhile, Central Bank Governor Oluyemi Kadoso announced a target of attracting $1 billion in diaspora remittance monthly by 2026, up from the current $600 million. He said inflows remain one of Nigeria's strongest sources of foreign exchange and must be channeled into productive sectors. Organizers of the conference also pointed to record capital raised by banks, rising private sector credit, and a boost in non-oil exports evidence. They say that reforms are beginning to take hold. The conference ended with a call for Nigeria to harness innovation, regulation, and private investment to secure inclusive growth and long-term stability. Now, the Federal Inland Revenue Service says the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission will play a major role in boosting voluntary tax compliance across the country. Federal Inland Revenue Service Chairman Dr. Zach Adedeji made this known during a casual visit to the Economic Financial Crimes Commission headquarters in Abuja. The visit comes as Nigeria prepares to roll out new tax laws in January 2026. The laws will also rename the Federal Inland Revenue Service as the Nigerian Revenue Service. Both agencies pledged closer collaboration to protect public funds and strengthen tax enforcement. Adedeji stressed that internal agency cooperation is vital to building trust in the system. He said Nigerians are more likely to pay taxes when they see clear results from government spending. The Federal Inland Revenue Service board also thanked the Economic Financial Crimes Commission for its support, saying their role is not only about arresting defaulters, but also in helping to ensure value for money. President Bola Tinubu had announced last week that government met its revenue targets for the year by August, collecting about 20 trillion naira, mostly from non-oil sources. Responding, Economic Financial Crimes Commission Chairman Ola Olukoyede assured that the partnership will continue. He noted that a recent Court of Appeal ruling affirming Economic Financial Crimes Commission authority to investigate tax fraud gives the Commission even stronger backing. Olukoyede added that having Economic Financial Crimes Commission work alongside Federal Inland Revenue Service will send a clear message that it's no longer business as usual. The two agencies say their joint efforts will have improved compliance, fight fraud, and secure Nigerians' financial stability. Moving forward, the National Inland Waterways Authority is cracking down on unsafe boat operations after a string of deadly accidents across Nigeria's rivers. Nigeria International Waterways Authority Managing Director Bola Bamiji announced an immediate ban on all loading from unauthorized points nationwide. He said only registered jetties will be allowed for passenger boarding, adding that all commercial boats must display proper identifications and enforce the use of life jackets. Unlicensed boats and operators have also been ordered off the waterways. The directive follows a series of fatal boat mishaps in recent months. Dozens of lives were lost in Niger and Sokoto states after overloaded boats capsized in storms or struck submerged objects. Bamiji said the new measures are designed to save lives and bring order to inland water transport. Authorities are urging passengers to board only from approved points and to always wear life jackets when traveling by boat. Away from that story, in Niger State, an outbreak of diphtheria has claimed the lives of at least 10 children. The disease was reported in Agia and Bida local government area. Victims were rushed to the Federal Medical Center in Bida, but many did not survive. Health workers said a shortage of drugs worsened the situation, while local sources report more unconfirmed deaths in affected communities. Residents are calling on the state government to urgently supply vaccines and medicines to curb the spread. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Tertiary Healthcare, Dr. Mohammed Ghana, confirmed the outbreak but declined to give casualty figures. He attributed the high death toll to poor vaccination uptake, but assured that health officials with support from partners are working to bring outbreak under control. Authorities are urging parents to present their children for vaccination as part of efforts to contain diphtheria in the state. In Sokoto State, Governor Ahmed Aliyu had issued a strong warning to criminal informations directing security agencies to treat them the same way as bandits. The governor gave the order during a condolence visit to Wonu and Raba local government area, where communities were recently attacked by bandits. Governor Aliyu described informants as unpatriotic citizens selling out their people for peanuts. He stressed that under his administration's new strategy, no informant will be spared. He urged rural dwellers to be vigilant and to report anyone living suspiciously or above their means to the authorities for proper investigation. The governor also appealed for the support to Jumu'at and daily prayer mosque to enlighten their congregations on Islam's stance against banditry and aiding criminals. Highlighting government efforts, Aliyu pointed to the provisions of over 170 patrol vehicles and motorcycles to improve allowances for security personnel and the creation of the Community Guard Corps. He stated that he is determined to fish out these dastardly informants and restore lasting peace in our rural communities. Governor Aliyu reaffirmed his commitment to backing security agencies in the fight against insecurity while thanking residents for their support and prayers. And in Adamawa State, operatives of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps have arrested a 28-year-old man for allegedly defrauding residents over 9 million naira. The suspect, identified as Bless Johnson, was picked up in Timbokun Village, Ganye local government area, following intelligence reports. According to the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps spokesperson Nyaku Baba, Johnson allegedly swindled at least 9 people by promising them political appointments, job placements, and even international travel opportunities. He is now facing charges of impersonation and obtaining money under false pretense. The Corps says investigations are ongoing to recover the funds and bring the victims justice. We take a pause here. Up next are stories from the beach sector.
Attention, housing and construction brands. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Housing TV Africa, channel 149 on StarTimes, is your ultimate platform to shine. Whether you're a housing developer offering affordable homes, a building materials company, a mortgage bank supporting families, or a furniture, lighting, or interiors brand, bringing style into every home. We've got you covered. Our crew comes live to your site, your showroom, or your project location, capturing your products, services, and your story in action. Real coverage, real people, real impact. And now, the exciting part, all of this is available at very affordable advertising rates. Yes, with Housing TV Africa, you can promote your brand without breaking the bank, while reaching millions of home buyers, decision makers, and investors. Don't stay hidden. Be seen, be trusted, be celebrated. Housing TV Africa, your #1 housing and construction network, on channel 149 on StarTimes. Call us today on 0916 500 0000 and let's build your business in the spotlight. Housing TV Africa, affordable rates, on-site reports, maximum impact.
Welcome back. Glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Now to the bid sector. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, says the federal government now requires 3 trillion naira to complete ongoing road projects earlier funded under the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Tax Credit Scheme. Speaking during an inspection of the East-West Road in Rivers State, the minister revealed that President Bola Tinubu has directed his ministry to explore alternative financing models to ensure no critical project is abandoned. Umahi also announced that road contracts under 20 billion naira will now be reserved for indigenous constructions firms as part of the administration's Nigerian First policy. The minister explained that inherited Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation tax credit projects have been compiled for strategic funding, with priority given to those along the National Economic Corridor. He further cautioned contractors against cutting corners, insisting that strict quality control will be enforced to guarantee value for money. Work is already ongoing on the second carriage of the Eleme-Ones axis of the East-West Road, which includes new bridges and flyovers. Away from that story, the Oyo State government approved another batch of road projects worth over 130 billion naira. The projects are to be funded from the 300 billion naira loan earlier approved by the House of Assembly. Briefing journalists after the State Executive Council meeting, Commissioner for Works and Public Transport, Mobonjubola, said the approvals cover both new and ongoing projects across the state. They include the reconstruction of Oju interchange to Monia Junction at a cost of over 63 billion naira, the dualization of Arjia Junction to the Nigerian Air Force Base Road value at more than 17 billion naira, and the rehabilitation of the Okaka-Otu Igbojai Cap Village Road with bridges over Otu and Ofiki rivers estimated at over 26 billion naira. Other projects approved include the expansion of Akpete Owotan Akufa Road, construction of Erua Township roads, as well as the planting of economic trees along 32 kilometers of the Senator Rashid Ladoja Circular Road. The council also approved 110 million naira for campaign and hosting of the under-20 female national football team ahead of their World Cup qualifier against Rwanda in Ibadan. The government says the projects are expected to be completed within the next 12 to 18 months to boost socio-economic development in the state. And now in sports, Nigerians' hopes of qualifying for a 7th FIFA World Cup have suffered another setback after the Super Eagles were ahead to a 1-1 draw by South Africa in Bloemfontein. The Eagles came into the game needing victory to revive their chances of reaching next summer's tournament in North America, But it was South Africa who struck first in the 25 minutes when Captain William Troost-Ekong unfortunately turned the ball into his own net. Nigeria equalized just before halftime through Kelvin Bassey, who bundled in Fisayo Dele Bashiru's cross to level the score. Despite dominating possession in the second half, the Eagles failed to find a winner, with substitutes Samuel Chukwueze and Christian Tos Uche unable to make the difference. The result leaves South Africa top of Group C with 17 points, 6 clear of Nigeria on 11. The Super Eagles must now win their remaining matches against Lesotho and Benin Republic and hope other results go their way to keep their World Cup dream alive. Meanwhile, Manchester City forward Omar Mamouche is a major doubt for Sunday's derby clash with Manchester United after suffering a new ligament injury on international duty with Egypt. Mamouche picked up the knock during Egypt's goalless World Cup qualifier against Burkina Faso in Ouagadougou. He lasted just 4 minutes before limping off. The Egyptian Football Association confirmed it is a bruised knee ligament. The striker will undergo further scans in Cairo to determine the extent of the damage. The 26-year-old has scored 8 goals in 28 games since joining City from Eintracht Frankfurt in a £59 million move last January. Both City and United are desperate for 3 points on Sunday as they look to reignite their Premier League campaigns. Now, in the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump has publicly rebuked Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over strikes against Hamas targeting Qatar, a rare move from Washington. Speaking to reporters in Washington, Trump said he was not informed in advance of the Israeli attack on Doha, a key U.S. ally and mediator in the Gaza conflict. The president described the strike as not helpful, stressing that while eliminating Hamas remained a worthy goal, bombing inside Qatar jeopardized peace efforts and strained relations with a country hosting a major U.S. air base. Trump said he immediately directed his envoy to alert Qatari officials, but the warning came too late. He has since spoken with both Netanyahu and Qatar Emir, assuring Doha such incidents would not be repeated. The White House said Trump delivered a very clear message of concern to the Israeli leader, making a rare break from his otherwise strong support for Netanyahu. Qatar has condemned the strikes, saying they were caught by surprise as explosion rocked the capital. The Gulf state continues to play a central role in negotiations over Gaza. And now Nepal has plunged into crisis as the National Army takes control of law and order following days of violent anti-government protests. The move comes after the resignation of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. At least 19 people have been killed and more than 100 injured since demonstrations erupted over corruption allegations and a controversial social media ban. Protesters stormed parliament in Kathmandu, setting fires and vandalizing the homes of top politicians despite a curfew. Thousands of young demonstrators flooded the streets, fueled by the viral Nepo Kid campaign accusing politicians' children of flaunting wealth. Army Chief General Ashok Raj Sigdal urged calm, promising the military would safeguard national unity and prevent further bloodshed. Several cabinet ministers have also resigned, condemning what they call the government repressive approach. World powers, including the United States, United Kingdom, France and Japan, have called for restraint and reaffirmed support for freedom of expression and peaceful assembly. That's much we can take on housing TV news at the top of the hour. But before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Tinubu orders watch on stablecoins. Federal Inland Revenue and Economic and Financial Crimes Commission unite on tax compliance. Diphtheria kills 10 in Niger. In sports, Super Eagles struggle after draw with South Africa. And on the foreign scene, we told you that Trump rebukes Netanyahu over Qatar strikes. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV on YouTube and follow Housing TV Africa on all your social media handles. Don't forget to download Housing TV app on your Google Play Store and Apple Store. Many thanks for watching. I am Mimi Tondu. Bye for now.